Israel's military has conducted multiple airstrikes on southern Lebanon in response to a wave of rockets from across the border. 2 people, including a child, were killed in Lebanon in what is the heaviest exchange of fire since Israel and Hezbollah brokered a ceasefire in November. The militant group has denied responsibility for the rocket attack on Israel. It comes a day after Israel said that it would ramp up military operations in Gaza until Hamas releases the 59 hostages it still holds. Tens of thousands of Israelis have protested their government's decision to restart the war in Gaza, as well as moves to sack the country's top security official. Our Middle East correspondent Eric Torchik has the story from Jerusalem.
Months of sustained protests have failed to move Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Now people are being asked to consider mass acts of civil disobedience. Already, a growing number of reservists are refusing to return to duty, questioning how the war is being fought and why.
The Israeli government went back to war with Gaza when they're not going to the second phase of the deal, and by that they're sending the hostages to death, and we're here to say that there's no way we're letting that happen.
Majority in Israel wants this war to end, wants our brothers and sisters, our moms, our dads, the hostages being held in Gaza. We want them back home.
These protesters are calling for Israel to end its renewed attacks on Gaza and secure a deal to release the remaining 59 hostages. But many people are also angry at the government's decision to sack its most senior security official, Ronen Bar, the director of the Israel Security Agency. They suspect government corruption or foreign interference. Mr. Bar was investigating staff within Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office for improper dealings with the state of Qatar when he was removed. The High Court has ordered that his dismissal be suspended, and if the government ignores that, as it has indicated, it will plunge Israel into a constitutional crisis. Months of protests have failed to make an impact on the Prime Minister, so Israelis are being told to consider mass acts of civil disobedience. Already, a growing number of reservists are refusing to return to duty, questioning how the war is being fought and why. But the government is disregarding this public sentiment in its decision to increase the deployment in Gaza and continue its campaign of airstrikes and artillery strikes. It could also be facing a renewal of conflict in the north in Lebanon. 3 rockets were intercepted over Lebanon on Saturday morning local time, with the Israeli Air Force striking a number of targets and killing Lebanese in response. The militant group Hezbollah, with whom Israel has had a ceasefire for the last 3 months, said it was not responsible, but Israel nevertheless bombed Hezbollah targets and members inside Lebanon. This is all occurring while more ballistic missiles come towards Israel, fired by the Houthis in Yemen, and Hamas, for the first time in months, has resumed firing rockets from inside Gaza. So it's going in a direction that the Israeli public generally don't want, and Israel is looking at a very difficult situation. All this is unwelcome news for a population that's tired of war. People want a ceasefire deal and the release of hostages, and they say they'll keep protesting until they get it. But they may take things further. Already the term civil war has been thrown around in the past week, with the Israeli government saying that's not going to happen.